welcome back to another episode of the Football Frauds Podcast. My name is Miles.
My name is Connor.
And I'm Matt.
And we are here to talk about skill position players, 2026 NFL Draft. Got a decent class here. We got one quarterback who's good, and then maybe Ty Simpson. Running back, Jeremiyah Love. Wide receivers, deep class, much deeper than we thought about 6 months ago. Tight ends, a few guys there. Fellas, how are we doing in this fine Thursday evening?
I'm doing fantastic. Pretty excited for this episode, a lot more than defensive prospects, because for offensive prospects, I can delude myself that I pretend that I know what's going on.
You see, I feel the same kind of way. I think before we started doing this podcast, I was just a casual. I liked football.
Yeah.
I talked my shit, but I didn't actually know what I'm talking about.
No, and now you're an expert for sure.
Now I'm an expert, dude.
Yeah.
I'm watching film, not just YouTube stuff.
True.
Paying for film, exclusive sites, exclusive film. And I want the viewers to know that if you're sitting at home, just got done with work, just thinking, what the hell am I doing with my life? That's us. We are you. If you want to listen to people who are like you, that is us.
No, if you're sitting at home, you need Connor to explain everything because he watches film. He knows ball now.
And you're listening to yourself, essentially.
Yeah. You're listening to yourself 6 months in the future once you start knowing ball.
Yeah, once I started paying for film and once I got a podcast, I noticed that women just couldn't even stand to keep themselves away from me. It's really been a problem.
Yeah. Once I started getting 200 views on our podcast episodes, I just started punching people. It feels so good.
I mean, not to brag,
you're
but
better than them.
We just crossed the 200 view mark on our last video.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not trying to brag too much. It's not that big of a deal.
Thank you guys so much for your support. You don't know how much this means to us. We are eternally grateful.
If you're fucking watching right now, we don't even need you, dude. There's 200 other guys lined up right behind you, ready to watch this video.
We're just playing coy. We really do need you, and we do love you.
Yeah. We need you to send this to your mother and your father.
My first reaction to getting 200 views in video was, holy fuck, the stakes are high now, boys. This is not a fucking joke anymore, dude. I am nervous. I might get canceled now. We have so many viewers. I need to rein it in a little bit.
I was like, do I need to call my boss? How many weeks notice do I give?
Should I quit in 6 weeks or 2 weeks?
Yeah. But that being said, I mean, if you guys want to comment on anything that we're saying right now, if you have anything that you hear us say that you're like, I want to tell them what I think because I think they're stupid or I think they're right, we will respond to you.
Yeah.
We see it.
Hey, quick discussion. Let's get the comments involved. What do you guys think? Jalen Hurts, top 5 quarterback in the NFL?
I was so elated when that came in. Garrett Nussmeier is going to be a freaking fraud. I was on board.
I know.
If whoever that guy is, if he sees that, if he listens to this, I'm on board with you, dude.
You know, since I got that comment, I actually looked further into the Nussmeier film. He's a lock in the first round for me.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. I think Eagles are going to take him at 23 to replace Jalen Hurts.
I think he voluntarily benched himself to save his body for the NFL.
Are you going to give the viewers a little taste of the Garrett Nussmeier breakdown into the other QBs?
A little sprinkle. Nussmeier, terrible year this past year. He got benched. He was hurt. He hurt his ribs in week 1 against Clemson in a game that they won. Super underwhelming. Their offensive line sucked.
Yeah.
Running back was meh.
LSU quarterback, if you don't remember, he was looked at to be a potential top 10 pick before the season started, had a down season. He's a little smaller, not super strong arm, but really cerebral. He's the son of a NFL former coach, current coach, Saints something, quarterback coach.
Yeah, Saints OC.
OC, Doug Nussmeier.
Yep. Nussmeier was great in 2024. He had better weapons. He came in this year. He was just super underwhelming. I still like him basically because of the podcast I listen to and people that are smarter than me tell me that he's actually pretty good. I've watched a little bit of film. The comp for him is Baker Mayfield. He's smaller, 6 foot, small hands, around Ty Simpson size. Not as quick as Ty Simpson, but slings it all over the field, drives into tight windows, got a little bit of mobility to him, but probably a nice third-round guy.
Yeah, I've heard he could be like how Mac Jones did on the Niners last year, where if you have an offensive ecosystem that's already set up in place, he can do decent for you, but you're not going to build a team around Mac Jones.
The thing is, I do see him as his ceiling being a journeyman quarterback. Someone that can hold the fort down as his ceiling. Someone who can hold the fort down while you're looking for another.
That's fair.
another player here.
Do we want to just dive in right at the top of our board, quarterbacks?
Now moving on to confirm good quarterbacks. We're starting off with Fernando Mendoza. The Dozer went to Indiana this past year, transferred from Cal. He's 6'5", 236 pounds. He's got prototypical size for an NFL quarterback. He won the Heisman this past year, threw for 41 touchdowns with just 6 interceptions. Going to go right into strengths. His biggest strength is, in my opinion, the most valuable skill in the NFL, accuracy.
Yeah.
He's got elite accuracy and elite ball placement. He excels at back shoulder balls specifically. He's probably the best back shoulder college thrower of all time.
Who's our white boy that makes big catches for Indiana?
Our white boy?
You always know.
Becker. Something Becker. I want to say Ty, but it's not Ty.
it's Ty. If you know. Ty Becker is making crazy.
Shouts Ty back here for listening. Subscribe, bro. We love you.
But yeah, those back shoulders are really great for him.
He's elite at it. Very tough, incredibly tough. Everyone knows the play against Miami in the national championship.
Yeah.
He's slow. I don't think it's talked enough how slow Mendoza is, getting into weaknesses here.
He didn't do any testing, right?
He didn't do any testing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he's unique? Like, he's way faster than Jared Goff.
I mean, okay, so one of my comps is Jared Goff. My comp is Jared Goff if he was willing to take off once in a while. Mm-hmm. I think he's Jared Goff.
Jared Takeoff.
Oh!
I personally like Mendoza a lot. I think in my board compared to last year, I'm going to have him rated higher than Cam Ward. He presents a much higher floor to me than Cam Ward, who is a bit of a gunslinger, off schedule, after the play adjuster, but presents himself to be what I think will be better than Kirk Cousins from the start. I think he's Kirk Cousins with a little bit more juice in his arm and much better prototypical NFL size. Obviously super studious, hard worker. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, my biggest thing that I have as a strength for him is his decision making. I think he makes great decisions.
Oh, yeah.
And he had a 130 QBR. And if you don't know anything about QBR, that's pretty freaking good.
Passer rating?
Yep.
QBR is the ESPN, like, what is that word? Proprietary thing that's like 0 to 100.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like,
Yeah. So it's not.
it's
yeah,
not, it's
passer rating.
Passer
yeah.
rating.
But so like you can tell that he does his research and he does his studying going into games. Miles brought up how he has him ahead of Cam Ward, and I do think that as well. But I would say that the predictability of Fernando Mendoza is much greater than the predictability of Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward, his variability of his ceiling to his floor was much higher than Mendoza. And so just for that sole reason, I know what I'm going to get from Mendoza. He's much more translatable directly from where he is right now into the NFL.
And what's nice for Mendoza is he gets to go to be with Clint Kubiak with the Raiders, who we just saw was able to take like some level of average quarterbacking and make a great offense out of it. You know, Cam Ward really isn't going to get that opportunity. Yeah. It's going to be different, but I think I agree with you guys.
Yeah.
I would say the biggest worry for me, Mendoza, the situation where he doesn't end up being a top 25 quarterback in the NFL, is that Indiana's offense was one of the most heavily RPO focused of any in the college football this past year. RPO is run pass option, meaning it's a lot of he looks at a handoff, he has one read to a guy running a slant or an out. He excels at out routes and then deep balls, corners to Omar Cooper especially, and jump balls obviously down the side to Elijah Surratt. And there's questions there whether or not he'll function quite as well in a play action heavy back to the guy or back to the defense. Mendoza ran like less than 10 play action plays all year, I believe, from under center. Mm-hmm. He's a lot of shotgun, a lot of one read and then make a throw. Just based on his profile and based on what I think about him, you think about him as a processor, Joe Burrow, Peyton Manning, and Andrew Luck. Like, you think about him as someone who's super smart and cerebral, but that actually wasn't what his offense was.
Well, but I think the counterpoint to that is he's in VR. He's in VR multiple hours a day, so he's got that done. That's the number one football frauds bit of all time. I forget what episode. Our VR bit, that magnum opus right there.
I have a GM simulator in VR where I enter the draft room and I talk to all my assistant GMs.
Sitting there just in shambles. What the fuck? Why would they pick that guy? Oh my god!
I should have watched way more film. Fuck.
Just watch draft day.
I haven't watched any film.
You have like an intern secretary. You're like, shut the fuck up. Get out of here. Like, you just
get Brian Gutekunst on the phone right now.
Yeah.
You enter into the simulator, like you get dropped in as a GM who's an alcoholic and whose marriage is falling apart.
Yeah, it's two calls. It's Monty Ossenfort and it's
Your wife. I'm gonna divorce you, babe. It's the draft. You need to fucking calm down.
I want my picks back. Wait, have you guys seen Draft Day?
Yeah,
okay.
It's terrible.
Iconic.
Let's move on to Ty Simpson, the quarterback out of Alabama.
Ty Simpson, quarterback, Alabama, 6'1", 211. And that's the biggest difference between Mendoza and Simpson.
But not that small. I thought he was smaller.
Nope, he's about average for NFL players.
Yeah.
He's small for a quarterback.
He's certainly a bit of an outlier size-wise.
Yep. He's son of a longtime football coach in Tennessee. He was a 5-star recruit, chose Alabama in 2022 as the number 2 quarterback in that class. And so he gets a lot of flack for being this bench guy who then got his start and then came into the spotlight.
Oh, you little baby boy! You won't transfer. You're scared to be a starter. You're going to sit behind Jalen Milroe.
Are you scared to compete?
Well, he sat behind Bryce Young and Jalen Milroe.
Well, he was, but a lot of guys sit for 1 year.
Yeah.
Not a lot of 5-stars sit for 2.
Okay, but
let alone 3.
Didn't? Yeah, they're right.
Okay, but then people have this knock on him that he doesn't have enough starts in that whole conversation. He had 15 starts, and he was pretty dang good for the majority of those. If you would have liked to see his trajectory gotten better over him, he kind of started out hot and then leveled off a bit. But just because you cooled off doesn't mean you're still not hot.
And the one thing, like Indiana's running game was 5 times the running game Alabama had.
Yeah.
With like 2.5 draftable receivers. I mean, Ryan Williams, whatever you want to say, he was not a functional receiver for Alabama.
Yeah.
No.
I think there's lots of reasons to look at Ty Simpson's profile and give it the benefit of the doubt, or look at it straight on and be like, he just isn't quite good enough.
I wish I had this stat on me right now, but for those who don't listen to a bunch of stupid NFL podcasts like us sickos, the track record of NFL guys coming in with less than 28 starts and having success in the NFL is outlier stuff. It just doesn't happen. And the 2 examples of it happening of guys that are good in the NFL right now is Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, guys who are physical outliers who are just special.
True.
I don't have the stat on me, but there is quite literally like very few examples of any good NFL quarterbacks having less than 2 seasons of full starting experience. I don't think that has as much to do with them having experience. I think it has more to do with the sample size of what people are drafting on. And when you have 8 games of great college play, it's like very easy to extrapolate off that sample size, but it's much harder to be a great college quarterback for 25 games.
Well, I think the big thing for me is if I'm taking a swing on Ty Simpson for my NFL football team, you better not have an absolute need at quarterback.
No.
I want to get him in the building. I know he has the physical traits. I want to see if he can translate that college success to an NFL field. And he has the competition. He did it against the highest level of college football. But can he take that next step for that extended period of time that you'd like to see? Is it a 9-game fluke? Or is it real?
I'm really fascinated by where Simpson's going to get drafted, given that 2 years ago, Penix and Nix went in the top 12.
And McCarthy.
McCarthy was projected to go there, but he was not a solid prospect whatsoever.
I just saw a lot of things of him being in the 20s or later. Well, it depends who you're listening to.
Yeah. It depends with him and their opinion on those guys, but I have a feeling that Simpson could go top 20, which is not where he's projected to go right now. He's projected to go late first round, top 2nd. But as an NFL franchise, the main consensus talk right now is it's really hard to talk yourself into a guy with 15 college starts with below NFL average size who's small for the NFL and also has an injury history with 8 good games of play. To start the season through 8 games, Ty Simpson was the best quarterback in college football.
70 completions, 70% completion rating, 21 touchdowns, 1 interception in 9 games.
Dang.
Yeah.
He got hurt, and then he got some sort of appendicitis or something. He lost 20 pounds before the Rose Bowl, and he was atrocious in the Rose Bowl.
In his final 6 games, he had a 57% completion percentage and less than 158 yards per game.
And they
just
insane. I say it again. They could not innovate with their run game. As time went on, they just accepted it. Like every single run attempt is going to be for nothing. It's only Ty we can trust.
Not even just like bad for Alabama.
Oh,
like almost like bottom of FBS.
Yeah, bad for
entirety.
the SEC, bad for everything.
Yeah.
The turning point was against Oklahoma with their D coordinator Brett Venables. He turned up the heat and brought a lot of complex blitzes, and Alabama had no way to adjust.
Yeah,
and you just got roasted.
One of the most respected defensive minds in college football. So it makes sense. He kind of set a blueprint. Other teams were able to kind of somewhat follow it.
Let's pivot to wide receivers. At wide receiver this year, we have a much deeper class than we thought to start the year. A lot of guys came out and played great. There's a deep pool of talent going down to the end of the second round. The guy who's at the top of most boards right now, though, is Carnell Tate, the large wide receiver 2 from Ohio State, is behind the best wide receiver prospect since Julio Jones, Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah, let me take a dive deep into Carnell Tate's soul. Let me explore his innards to you, show you guys who he is. He's 6'2", 192 pounds, so instantly, he's a skinnier guy. Spent 3 years at Ohio State underneath Brian Hartline, their legendary coach. Got to play next to Ibuka and Jeremiah Smith and
JSN. Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison. Once you go back to Olave, Garrett Wilson, you go off. But all this experience that Brian Hartline, played in the NFL, white receiver, known to be one of the best coaches at the college level of just developing these guys. Carnell Tate has it all. He has all those same traits. He is a nuanced route runner. He has the head fakes, the body fakes, the shoulder, little moves to create separation at the top of his route. He's a downfield receiver. And another thing that really stood out for his season last year is just outstanding ball skills. I mean, he plays bigger than 190 pounds at the catch point.
Yeah.
I think it was like 10 out of 11 or 11 for 11 on contested catches. How many highlight plays going through his film, and you don't scout on highlights, where he just like bosses a guy and is like, I want this ball more than you. He perfectly knows when to jump, when to high point the ball.
He's Ted McMillan level at the catch point.
Yeah. One thing about, Ted has the size. So
6'5" instead of 6'1".
And he's probably 20 more pounds, so you can theorize that's going to like relate to the NFL better.
Right.
One other thing, 0 drops in 2025. So if you're going to look at like the overall package of what you're getting with Carnell Tate is just like reliable. There aren't any question marks on if he's going to help your team. How nuanced his route running is, how sure his hands are. It's all there on film. The one thing is like, is he a monster athlete, and is he going to get yards after the catch?
Yeah.
My take is no. And it's not his 40 time for me. It's his 10-yard.
4.5.
He ran a 4.5 40. He ran a 1.61 10-yard. But for context, for non-sickos, that's about 20th percentile. And so that tells me that he doesn't have that quickness off the jump.
Yeah, no. But I mean, I will say, like, if you're looking at just 40 time, Puka had that 40 time, JSN had that 40 time.
Yeah.
It's more like, what do you see? He doesn't get that yak on tape, and he's just not threatening with the way he uses his body.
I think the prominent thing to highlight is that no one would have brought up his speed as being a major weakness until the combine.
Yeah.
Like on film, it wasn't demonstrated that he didn't have breakaway speed or he couldn't pull away from guys.
People thought he was fast.
People thought he was going to run high 4.3s, low 4.4s.
Well, yeah.
And think that's going to be the common theme with a lot of these wide receivers, where it's like no one was claiming that they were athletic freaks, and so you're going to knock on them, because they proved exactly what you already knew.
No, I wouldn't. To me, how much does the combine affect Tate's profile? To me, not a lot. I think it was already there. Is like, how refined he is, and then how he's not an insane athlete, super strong. Like, he's not going to be the Jamar Chase guy where it's like you love him separating and you love him running with the ball. Like, he kind of can go down. But to offset that, he had 17 yards per catch last year.
Yeah.
80 yards per game, even competing with Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah.
So that leads me to, looking at it, he's probably going to go in the top 10, and I would take him there. I think that having that floor and having him be a do-it-all receiver, he fits every offense. I think it's worth that pick.
Is Carnell Tate like your wide receiver prospect in this class? Do you think?
If I were an NFL team, yes. I think, look at the Browns. If they want their needs, if they have a left tackle need and a wide receiver need in the first round, I'd rather them go Carnell Tate at 6 and take another offensive lineman at 24 who would fall than do the opposite and like see what receiver fell.
Then take Maui Noah and Omar Cooper.
Yeah.
Yes,
Maui Noah
I'd
and
rather do
Concepcion.
Tate.
Yeah.
This is kind of irrelevant and kind of out of the box and doesn't really matter at all, but it kind of feels like if these 3 wide receivers were Pokemon, Matt has the first pick, Miles is going to have the second pick, and then I'm going to walk into Professor Oak's office and get the last one. And we all have our different
Matt,
preferred...
which Pokemon would you take first?
Usually I go water types, Squirtle, Totodile,
So you're taking
Mudkip.
So like I'm talking like original Pokemon. You take Squirtle.
I go back and forth, but probably Squirtle usually.
Huge miss.
Who are you taking, dude?
I'm taking what's the fuck his name? Charmeleon, Charizard.
Charmander, dude?
Charmander is probably
You're a
Jordyn
freaking
Tyson.
fraud.
Charmander is Jordyn Tyson. Like he's weak, he's weak to a lot. Like he gets wet and he'll fall over.
His flame burns out and he dies.
But he's also got like fucking fire blasts. He could light you up.
If he
with
hits his
fire.
ceiling, he's
Charizard
dude.
X.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And then I think Makai Lemon is probably Squirtle.
He does give Squirtle Squad.
He could be
vibes,
Wartortle.
actually.
Wartortle.
And I think Carnell Tate has to be Bulbasaur, even though it doesn't really fit.
It kind of does fit.
No,
Most
it does fit.
vanilla ass Pokemon.
Yeah, true. Yeah, more just like a guy.
Forgettable, good, big, strong.
He's chilling. He's chilling.
That brings us to the second wide receiver here on our board, Makai Lemon. Makai Lemon's a receiver from USC who won the Blitnikoff Award this past year for being the best wide receiver in college football. He's 5'11", 192 pounds. He's undersized for the NFL, there's no question, which is why he kind of profiles towards the slot a little bit more. He's 14th percentile in wingspan, 10th percentile in hand size, and he ran a 4.5, right around where Carnell Tate ran, except without the elite size.
And he runs weird. Any comment on that? The fact that he runs kind of weird. Does that affect how you think about him?
He's your guy, Miles.
You want? I can respond for you.
Yeah.
Harold Fannin runs weird. He just had like 700 yards from the third round tight end perspective.
Yeah,
Puka
but he
Nacua
kinda
runs
looks
weird.
funny, though.
Cam Scadaboo runs weird. Judkins runs weird.
Dude, does Puka run weird?
I don't know.
I feel like Puka runs kind of sexy.
I don't know.
I mean,
We'll ask him when he
We'll
gets
get
out.
rid of the run weird thing. We'll go back to real prospecting.
biggest strengths, Lemon exemplifies a lot of the skills that are most valuable in the top receivers in the NFL right now. JSN, Puka, Egbuka in the first half of the season. He's really, really tough over the middle, and he is a fucking psycho over the middle. He does not care if he gets hit. There's no apprehension with him, and he's just going to the middle of the field, and he's totally willing to get absolutely laid out. And he'll just catch the ball every time. He has elite hands, and he has awesome ball skills for his size. He wins at the catch point over and over again, despite being 5'11", with pretty good athletic skills. And he's an elite route technician. His route running it's not Jordyn Tyson, who we'll talk about later, where he has elite separation and incredible burst, and he gets off guys like super hard and slants. He's very precise. And Devontae Adams-esque to me in terms of ability to separate just with footwork.
I mean, not Devontae Adams-esque because he's the gold standard the last 10 years.
Are you talking about Makai Lemon still?
Yeah.
I think he's good. I don't think his footwork is elite, but he's good at like juking you out. I feel like he can get a guy to bite the wrong direction for a second.
I think this guy is just the ultimate football player to me. Like,
oh yeah,
like a guy that just you see that competitiveness in his eyes. And there was some stuff at USC where him and Jacoby Lane had to sit out for the first half of a game.
Oh really?
And the speculation was because there was some disagreements, arguments.
Sure.
But not coming from a place of just I want to be good at football and I want us to be good in
reality they were like drinking and like shouting slurs on campus. It's because they love football too much.
But the type of guy that the coach can trust enough to run those high risk plays, like a screen where he's launching it down the field 40 yards after catching it. It's like just a football player overall, not just fitting this niche role on your team. He can do a lot for you.
Matt, can you explain to the viewers what yards per route run is?
Yeah, yards per route run. It's trying to take away a lot of different factors like total yards. Maybe you have a high passing offense. So in a high passing offense, your total yardage might be better. So you might think, oh, that's the best receiver. You're trying to look down at every single time that your team passes the ball, how many yards does this individual receiver gain? So historically, being over 2.5 yards per route run is pretty good. 3 is elite. You really want to have a prospect be at least at 2, otherwise you're kind of scared. Isn't Makai Lemon like 3.3 or something?
Since PFF started tracking yards per route run in college in 2014, only 9 wide receivers have cleared 3+ yards per route run against both man and zone.
Yeah.
Let me take you through the list. Jamar Chase, 2019. Devonta Smith. Jalen Waddle.
Seems like it's good players on this list.
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Okay.
Marvin Harrison.
Ooh.
And then the guys who are kind of on the
That's a good player.
verge. Hollywood Brown did it in Kyler Murray's Heisman season. Dwayne Eskridge posted near 5 yards per run.
Hey, they can't all be winners, okay?
But he was in the MAC. And then T. Higgins, the only extra.
Wait, did you say 5? What did you say?
9.
No, Dwayne Eskridge. How many yards per route run?
He almost had 5 yards per route run.
Holy cow.
He was awesome in the MAC.
Some guys have like 5 yards per catch.
Yeah.
Like I swear Wandale is at like 8 yards per catch. I can't imagine being at 5 per route run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lemon's at 3.2 or higher in both. This is a pretty good metric to just kind of keep in mind.
Yeah.
His weaknesses, size, speed. To me, in the way I evaluate receivers, that's the classic kind of catch. I get how it makes sense in terms of like setting a floor and a ceiling for a guy. There's certain metrics you want to hit in terms of size or speed. He's not super big. He's not super fast. But to me, he's at least going to be league average in pretty much every skill offered in the NFL.
I think maybe blocking is a thing that a lot of like McVay, Shanahan offense need you to do. And then winning against press coverage. If you're just the static receiver with a DB right in your face, I think he might struggle against that. But a team that's going to draft him, I don't think they're going to have him be the static receiver too often. They're going to get him on the move or in the slot, uncovered right on the line.
He struggles to separate against press, against big corners. I mean, that's consistent for even guys like JSN, who are a little bit smaller, who are pretty much slot zone separators. My comps, Puka Nakua's plucky younger brother.
He's plucky.
Amon Ra. Amon Ra's 5'11 and a half, 200. Once again, Makai is 5'11, 192. JSN, he's 6 foot, 196. He ran a 4.5 at his pro day. And then my final comp, JSN, if he had a little less juice and was a bit more psycho.
Miles just lists all the best wide receivers.
And he was a
league.
snake.
He's going to be Megatron, Julio Jones.
I think out of all these top 3 receivers, you expect Makai to have the most catches per game.
Yes.
Like because he's close to the line of scrimmage, he's just going to get a lot more targets that aren't as far down the field.
Yeah. And he's got a lot of negative PR recently, and I honestly don't give a shit about the interviews. People said that they're just kind of weird. Nothing really wrong with it.
You're not worried about Snakegate?
No, not at all.
Hashtag Snakegate?
Nope. But there was a clip I saw
of football.
I hated that.
I would kill Jordyn Tyson.
That's how I try and pick up girls at the bar. So,
what's up, bitch?
come here often.
Oh, God. I am uncomfortable in this room.
Dude, why was he so snaky? He was literally being so weird.
I think that's who he is.
Anyway, to my point, there was a clip I saw from the Combine where they were running routes, and you know how they have NFL coaches there just giving them feedback like on how they're running things and things like that. He dropped a ball. One of the coaches tried to tell him something, and he literally gave him like a brush off, like a
Ooh.
And walked back.
Undraftable.
And I was like, that doesn't scream coachable to me.
Would you want a receiver to act any differently?
Yeah, I'd want a receiver to learn how to fucking catch the ball.
You think Makai Lemon can catch the ball?
I would say like JSN.
In that route, he did not.
JSN does not seem like that at all. Puka kind of does. I think you can have
JSN
both.
is like the standard for nice guy wide receiver.
Oh, yeah.
Every other receiver in the NFL is a complete fucking asshole.
Oh, Tyreek Hill would like kill people to like have
AJ Brown,
more yards.
Jamar Chase. Even Justin Jefferson this year showed that when he's not in the right situation, he will turn you a little bitch.
I won't turn that into.
But I'll say
Jefferson was great. For how terrible that went, I think he did a pretty respectable job.
Amon Ra strikes me as someone, if someone's telling him to do something and he thinks they're wrong, he will tell them they're wrong, but he won't blow them off. He will engage and get to the root of, am I wrong or are you wrong? Let's figure it out, MFer.
Yeah.
That whole just don't fucking talk to me. I'm better than you. This is the NFL Combine. Didn't sit well with me, honestly.
No, it's not a great look, but does it matter for his yardage totals in the league? Probably not.
Blowing off your coaches, stock up for Makai Lemon.
Okay, Connor, do you know where we're at for time right now?
We are currently sitting at...
Because
I do not know.
We're
At 30 minutes.
Okay. Oh, that's not too bad.
No.
Okay.
That brings us to our next receiver.
Jordyn Charmander Tyson.
Ooh, that's what everyone's calling him.
Yeah, on the streets these days.
Yep.
Wide receiver out of Arizona State. We were just talking about him a little bit, but he's the last of the big three. 6'2", 200 pounds. Coming out of high school, he was a 3-star recruit, so he was a little bit under-recruited, despite his strong high school production.
Wow.
He signed with Colorado, and he led the team as a true freshman in 2022. He had good production with Dion, and then he transferred to Arizona State in 2023. And then he redshirted while he recovered from a knee injury there. And at Arizona State, he was coached by Hines Ward. And people said that you can definitely tell that Hines Ward got his hands on him because the growth was insane.
Yeah.
He had a breakout season in 2024, 75 catches, 1,000 yards, 10 TDs, a 13 All-American, Big 12 Offensive Newcomer of the Year.
Miles loves Hines Ward.
Honestly, I am a big Hines Ward fan, too.
Oh, Miles really loves him.
How much does he love him?
I wanted to get him. I wanted to get his hands on me so I can grow.
Miles loves his scalp.
I hate that I engage in that.
I'd love to get his hands on me.
And so ACL injuries. In 2025, he was limited by hamstring injuries.
Yep.
So he only played about 9 games. He had 61 catches, 700 yards, and 8 touchdowns. And so even though he had that limited production in the sample size that he played, it was still progression from year to year.
Yep.
And so he still got better. Right now, he is still dealing with that hamstring injury, which is why he didn't test at the combine or at his pro day.
Yeah, I mean, if we want to zoom out a little bit, the overall story on Jordyn Tyson is he can be very elite, but people are concerned about his injuries.
Yep.
I mean, I want to keep hearing more in depth, but to get the context, people think, oh, this could be the best in the class, but he's kind of falling because people are really scared about this, especially the hamstring thing, which can linger.
Yep.
I think if Tyson had been fully healthy both years in Arizona State, he would be the consensus one, and I don't know if it would be that close.
I think he'd be top 5 pick, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he'd easily be my wide receiver one if he didn't have so many soft tissue injuries.
3 years in a row he hasn't finished. You keep breaking him down. I just wanted to get an idea what's going on.
Yeah, there you go. But all you really need to know about this guy from a sky view is he is one of the nastiest route runners you will see. The way that he can sell the over and break down and go under.
Yep.
DBs fall for it every single time because he's so freaking good at it.
Jerry Jeudy-esque.
Don't comp him to Jerry Jeudy.
No, Jerry Jeudy's a great. Jerry Jeudy. I mean, he went in the first round. He's a great route runner, especially at the college level.
Tyson's an elite separator.
Yeah, you want to see some more toughness. That's kind of somewhat Jerry Jeudy didn't take in his career.
Yes, but he had a 67% contested catch rate, and his basketball background definitely plays into that. We've talked about it before on this podcast, but his brother is Jalen Tyson.
Oh yeah.
Who's an NBA player for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
I need to get back in on Tyson. I forgot about that.
He's a good 3-and-D guy.
Yeah. That's also why I like him to Cleveland. I don't know when at Cleveland, but I think 6 it might be a reach, but still that
well, Cleveland could trade down. I've heard that rumored.
Yeah. So he wins with route running technique. He doesn't really have elite physical traits, and just from what you see from his production without that elite physical traits, it tells me a lot, and he is my number 1 in this class.
Yeah.
Totally fair talent evaluation wise. I mean, me too. If he hadn't had all these 3 or 4 different soft tissue injuries in 3 or 4 years, easily wide receiver 1. Even though I love Lemon and I really like Tate.
Yeah, it comes down to your appetite for risk. I mean, do you like a guy that can totally route you up and get 5 yards of separation as the DB falls on his ass, and it's like, wow, this guy's insane? Or do you like the guy where Lemon, where it's like every single route he's playing tough, he's getting somewhat open, you feel like he's reliable and he's always there for you.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs is my comp for Tyson.
If he hits, 75th percentile outcome, I think that's very realistic.
Mm-hmm. That brings us to KC.
Immaculate.
I was looking at the consensus. We got to go Omar Cooper. Omar Cooper is shooting up boards.
Ooh.
He's coming up next. He's become that. He wasn't there for a while, He's one of the Indiana receivers with Surratt, and the story of the season was Surratt was higher, but the last several months, Omar Cooper's flying up. He's right now 22 on the consensus mock draft board.
Omar Cooper Scooper Jr., 6'2", 200 pounds. He ran a 4.42 at the 40-yard dash, which is very good. 37-inch vertical. Biggest downside in his frame, he's 11th percentile in arm length.
So was he the wide receiver 2 at Indiana, or was it a committee wide receiving core?
I don't think it was 1 or 2.
So they're both like 1Bs?
They ran different routes.
3 months ago at the end of the college football season, post-national championship, Surratt was the consensus like late first, early second guy. Him and Cooper completely swap positions after everyone watched the film. Cooper presents like a prototypical NFL wide receiver. He was second in the nation in yards per route run against zone this year, behind only Makai Lemon. He probably fits best as a slot. He played the Z for Indiana last year, but then this year he really thrived in the slot.
Yeah, what was his weight again?
His weight is 200.
Okay.
So he's 8 pounds more than
Yeah,
Makai
so
Lemon.
you could, I mean, just by weight, you could see him across the board.
Indiana used him a lot as a gadget guy with jet sweeps. So they try to get him touches all the time, especially later in the season, college football playoff run. They would just try and feed him touches over and over again and get him the ball in space where he's awesome. He's also really good at getting over the middle and finding soft spots in the zone. That's kind of a big strength for him. He's got good feel for zone. He's not a great separator like Tyson is against man coverage, but he's also very good downfield as a jump ball winner. Everyone knows the famous play, him against Penn State, Mendoza down the end. Cooper takes his feet, does a 90-degree angle levitation, drops his feet in. Cooper is very intriguing, and the further we've gotten in the draft process, he's just risen up NFL guys' boards, and the consensus is just across the NFL that they love this guy. Because
he's a guy that's really hard to really decide what I feel about him.
Yeah, because
I see that ceiling, and I see him being like irrelevant too.
Because I think the scenario plays out where we look back at it and it's like, oh, he was just lifted up by Indiana. Like they made this championship run. He got a bunch of targets from Mendoza. He's a good receiver, but not great.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of guys played really tough in that from that program. Like, so do I think he's going to be a yak threat? At people say small Debo for him, or like, I've seen like less athletic Luther Burden. It's like, do I think he's going to have? Is that yak going to really keep carrying over, or is he just like not good enough of an athlete for that?
I do think Yak will be a strength for him at the NFL level. I don't think he's Debo. Debo is not a comp anyone should give.
Yeah, Debo's like 220 or something, 220s.
Yeah.
It's like the least projectable player ever.
No.
Because there's like he's literally a one-of-one.
We are all lighter Debo. Like you listening to this, you are lighter Debo. What does that mean?
He's shifty. He produces well in space. A bunch of spectacular catches, including a one-hander against Oregon on a crosser that I loved in their first matchup in the season. A bunch of spectacular catches on tape. Great hands. Not many drops throughout the course of the season. Like I said, good feel against zone. And what you're getting here is a guy with a super well-rounded profile who doesn't present a bunch of obvious weaknesses. He's not going to be an X for you and block super well. His effort was somewhat inconsistent in the blocking game in Indiana. But what you're getting is a guy who can do everything. Weaknesses, weak against press man, kind of like Lemon. He's not much bigger than Lemon realistically. He has 1.5 seasons of really good performance in Indiana, especially against great competition this past year. And then, like I talked about, the version of this where we end up looking back at Omar Cooper and say, he's probably the 50th best wide receiver in the NFL, is that he was a product of the system that he was in, and that most of his great production at Indiana is in the slot where he was schemed up touches a lot.
Yeah, he really just like can't separate,
right.
Does a lot if you forced him touches, but can't do enough if you don't.
My comp for him is less juiced Odell Beckham Jr.
Connor, you are less juiced. Comps are hard. A lot of players are unique. They're individual.
I mean, it is what it is. It's whatever. It's obsolete, but it's the fact that all your comps are like, he's like a smaller and less athletic Megatron.
Okay, Puka Nacua. These are good comps.
You're explaining Jackson Dart. He's kind of like Tom Brady, but a little more physical, a little more willing to run,
less Super Bowls,
less able to diagnose the field.
The Jackson Dart,
less knowledgeable.
The Jackson
film.
Dart comp is Jalen Hurts.
Okay, yeah.
He's like a juiced up Jalen Hurts.
These are good comps. If you're comment in the fucking
Wait,
whatever the
do you
fuck.
guys want to hear a good comp I missed on?
Yeah.
Carnell Tate is a larger, slower Devonta Smith. That's a good comp.
I don't see it.
They play downfield. They're contested catch guys that are smaller. They are like really smart with their routes, but not physical. You don't want them to block really. That's a great comp.
Matt,
I had
you are
undersized
just the goat.
I had
man.
undersized Mike Evans
For who?
for Tate.
Oh,
Downfield ball winner, big, strong.
It's just I think some of Evans part of his game is his strength. Whereas I think that was my thought. Devonta's not. He's like 170 something.
Fair.
Speaking of strong and mentally strong individuals,
Yeah.
KC Immaculate Concepcion.
Yeah, you just picked a random word. Like, well, he's not actually strong, so mentally strong.
KC stands for Kevin Concepcion, so every time you say his name, it's like saying Kevin Concepcion.
Yeah, elite ball knowledge to know that fact. Now you're going to be excellent. Yeah, he's 5'11", 196, 21 and a half years old. So only 3 years of college football. Great production over those 3 years. A lot of guys who are just like stats guys really like him because he always put up a lot of yardage. Going into just like what he does well, he is a guy kind of similar to Cooper where you like when the ball is in his hands. He is shifty. He is able to break tackles, evade tackles, really good at yak, and he's really excellent at just like once he catches the ball, he is instantly transitioning into a runner.
I think he has a great vision. I think a lot of that comes down to his vision. I feel like he always finds the open space, and if you watch enough film, you can see guys that catch it and don't know where. Like they might know where they are on the field. Mm-hmm. They don't know where everyone else is.
I just watched the Tavon Austin video yesterday, and that's what it makes me think of, like knowing where all the DBs are and knowing where to like get the next few yards.
Yeah,
he's very change of direction focused, and the way Texas A&M used him is they just had him do a ton of different things, kind of used as a gadget player. They lined him all over. They lined him at running back, slot, jet sweeps. They use him in lots of different ways. Partially because I don't think sometimes it's a knock against a guy. You can't play receiver on its own. I don't think that's a knock against Concepcion because the Texas A&M quarterback, isn't a guy that you trust to like place it accurately down the field. So to get a guy this talented the ball, you got to be creative and use these kind of strange ways. One other thing was a special team use. He was an elite punt returner in college, especially this last year, where when he actually got the ball, he had 18 yards per punt return.
It's insane.
Sounds like Connor Grogan.
I don't know what percentile that is, but that is like, I feel like usually you get like 8 on average. He had 2 return for a touchdown, 18 average. Absolutely insane. One last thing is his strength.
He's like a more melaninated 7th grade Connor Grogan.
Yeah, I was like, how is he gonna bring race into this? I'm curious. Who's the white cop?
Yeah, if you
listen, juiced up Connor Grogan.
If you're audio only, we are 3 white males.
One last thing, he actually, what I do like, and this is more projectable than his gadget use, he has a decent release package.
Oh yeah.
Like he uses that elite burst on the line of scrimmage. And he could, for being a smaller guy, what did I say, 196, 192, 196, he can beat press coverage and just like juke a guy out of his shoes and don't let him prevent the hands being placed on him. Mm-hmm. The number one thing about this, and we'll talk about this here, he's Mr. Drop Guy. He's Mr. With my hands, I'm going to attack the ball. I'm not going to let it in. I'm scared. What do you guys think about drops? Do you think it's a nail in the coffin? Do you think it's worth paying attention to? What do you guys think?
I think it's all dependent on the work you put in. There's a lot of guys that they'll have drop issues in college and then have that be the thing that's the chip on their shoulder for the rest of their career, and all they're doing is being on the jugs machine, and they fix it.
Yep.
There are also people who tried that and could never do it.
They called me the jugs machine in high school.
I bet they did, Matt. Don't nux over that.
That's a sick comment, bro. Don't hate.
Nux.
I don't believe in Concepcion's catching ability. I think it really is a real weakness. I don't think that it's a nail in the coffin, but I definitely think it's not a noisy stat completely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of examples of him belly catching this past year, and my biggest downside for Concepcion in terms of my taste in receivers is that on film he seems a little bit hesitant over the middle. He doesn't seem like he has complete fearlessness, and he doesn't seem like he reaches out and extends and catches it with his hands and plucks.
No, he
it
doesn't
very
do the Makai
effectively.
Lemon, Puka, Amon Ra, where it's like he's ready to get blasted as he makes a hard catch over the middle. He's relying on that shiftiness, and he doesn't really want to get like nuked.
I think Concepcion could be an elite manufactured touch guy. I think if you get him
like
in
a Tavon Austin or like a Cordell Patterson except smaller.
I think you can use him more. I think of like Jalen Waddle or like I don't know, Jalen Waddle or who was that guy in the Seahawks who like never
Doug Baldwin
got hit? No, he just retired like a year ago. Tyler Lockett. I think more like where they use their speed, but they are like a little scared of contact. Like you don't see them. Like he likes to use his yak, but it's still like find gaps. He's not gonna like lower his shoulder into a guy.
Yeah. He's a great fit to me for the 49ers. I think in the 49ers and Dynasty, he'd be a star.
If he fell to the 49ers, you'd sure want to like think about drafting him at a decent level.
If he goes to the Browns at 24, I'm like,
ooh,
okay.
You want to hear a good comp?
Yep.
Jaden Reed. He's got a Jaden Reed. I think he can be a little better than Jaden Reed. And honestly, I think Jaden Reed's good.
More shifty.
He only gets used as a slot. Yeah, I think Jaden Reed's a little tougher, a little less shifty.
Yeah.
But they can be used similar ways.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right. Who's that put us on now? We got Denzel Boston.
Yeah, Boston.
Mr. Stiffy. And that is
That's
for
what they
Miles
called me in
to
high school.
Sorry, I just learned from a text that Travis Hunter is hurt.
No.
I mean, it doesn't affect me. It was the worst trade of all time.
My dynasty team would be good if Travis Hunter had a 50 percentile outcome.
Well, maybe if you weren't a psycho and took Travis Hunter in like the second round.
The thing is,
Not the second round.
I knew third round. It was the end. Fuck. It was the end.
Right.
I could have taken him or Garrett Wilson. Those are the two options at the high end of the board. And I'm like, I don't really believe in Garrett Wilson. I want a ceiling.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
I want the best defensive back in the league.
I mean, I did not think Parker Washington would become great and that Jacoby Myers
yeah.
would get traded.
Yeah.
Hunter was the second overall pick in Dynasty last year.
Yeah.
Above Tet.
And at that point, people just didn't believe in Tet the same way.
Yeah.
So that would have been the great pick for my team was to pick Tet. But I'm stupid and I'm Mr. Stiffy.
That's what they
call me in high
Still
school.
to this day. Now they call it behind the back.
Mr. Stiffster, Denzel Boston from Washington, learned from the likes of great X receivers like Jalen McMillan and Rome Odunze at Washington. He's 6'4", 212, great X receiver size, 35-inch vertical. He can jump a little bit. Never ran a 40, which is a big red flag if you don't know. He's likely a mid to high 4.5s, maybe even low 4.6s guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't really represent any sort of breakaway speed. He's never going to be a separator at the NFL level. He's the polar opposite of Tyson.
Never. I mean, I don't think his separation is awful.
No, it's not awful, but he'll never be a above average separator.
No.
He's going to be a at the catch separator.
Yeah, I think for being 212, you don't hate his route running.
Oh, I agree. I agree with that. I just meant in terms of overall profile.
Yep.
He's going to win at the catch point. He's going to win with his big.
I vibe with that.
He's going to win with his big.
With his big what?
With his big Mr. Stiffy.
Oh, God. No.
He ran a 4.2 second short shuttle, which was third best at the combine. Very good.
Oh,
which
wow.
Well, but
demonstrates-
no one does it, though. That's the problem.
Yes, but still, I mean, he demonstrated above average short shuttle quickness, which is maybe a
For
argument
his
against.
heavier weight, I think that's something.
For being 6'4", it's impressive.
Yes. We can dive into the nuances of all that in a different time, but...
Connor hates Denzel Boston. He thinks he's Mr. Stiffy.
No, I think that my gripe is more with the combine, where these percentile outcomes of the combine, it's like, well, he's average, but people don't do it. You only do the ones that you're good at.
Still, quite a few guys did it, and he tested in a percentile that was better than what you would think with his route running and such.
Yeah.
He had a 77% contested catch rate this past season, which is untenable and great. Not quite Tate, but at a similar level in terms of winning down ball in the field. Washington would throw him jump balls all the time. He wins all the time down the sidelines. He had 20 touchdowns over the past 2 seasons. He's great in the red zone. Prototypical X, and then what I had written down. Better than expected release package and footwork for being a 6'4" guy. Pretty good separation and his flexibility, but I really don't see him as a complete straight line stiff as I would Jalen Hyatt, where it was like it was clear from early on that he was just a down the field, try and get him with his speed. I don't think he's a stiff. He's never going to be great in terms of a slot separator, but he could be a very good run go balls, run posts, and win downfield over and over again.
And blocking.
Yeah.
Blocking.
I mean, so I keep bringing it up, but so many of these offenses, like you need your all 11 to be part of the run game.
Yes.
And like when you have these guys you love getting the ball, but they're 189, getting the 212 out there, a guy who's a willing blocker, it makes a difference for your offense.
Yeah.
I have all my notes dynasty oriented, so I didn't have blocking.
Well, but that also does pertain to dynasty. If you want,
You'll be on the field.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, let's just I'm going to bring up a conversation of last year. A lot of people had Jaden Higgins and Jalen Knoll, 2 receivers out of Iowa State, as very similar level prospects. Jalen Knoll fell to like pick 73, and Jaden Higgins was pick 33. Even though you liked Knoll had better change of direction, really good contested catch for his size, a lot of things, but he's probably 25 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
Like 4 inches, 6 inches shorter. I don't know the gap. And Higgins got a lot of play time. They went to the same team, to the Texans. Higgins got a lot of play time because he's bigger. You can have him run every route because even if he doesn't run it perfectly, he can body up on a guy and he can block.
Kind of a deep cut example is A.J. Barner on the Seahawks. A guy who's a really good blocker for them, but who ended up being a top 15 tight end in Dynasty this past year because he was just on the field all the time and got a lot of red zone targets.
Yeah, I hate to be that guy, but the only reason why I was so high on like IMN or having rookie production is because I knew that he was one of the best run blockers in that class.
No, it makes a difference.
And you're not going to get playing time if you can't block. If you can't do the things that aren't the sexy parts of football. I guess they are sexy to some people, but if you can't do the things that like
sex appeal is you don't know what I'm attracted to.
I mean, but like you're not going to make the top 10 list for a run block.
No.
As a wide receiver.
Connor knows that I'm attracted to.
One other thing, Jaden Reed is another example of like you watch him with the ball in his hands running routes. It's like this guy's electric, but the Packers want guys that they can keep out in all their personnel packages, and they don't want him out there.
That's why they took Matthew Golden in the first round.
Yeah, I don't know.
He didn't really get
terrible run blocker. Terrible.
That was just a Mark Murphy. This is my last pick I'll ever make, and it's going to be a wide receiver.
No.
And Goody said, I guess. Okay.
No.
Just get the hell out of here.
Boston this week. Go ahead.
One of the things that I wanted to bring up to you guys, it's something that makes a whole lot of sense, but for some reason it does matter to me.
Okay.
He had his like by far worst production for from a game standpoint against good competition. So like against Ohio State, against Oregon.
Noise. Wrong. That's noise.
Well, he did.
Yeah, it's true.
Wrong. Randomness.
No, that was against the best.
Factually, that happened, but in terms of analyzing that, it's random, and it's noise.
Okay, elaborate on that, Mr. Robot.
If so, you're looking at a whole sample size of a season, right?
Yeah.
And this guy has 840 yards in 13 games. Like, to me, it doesn't matter that much if he had a lot of yards against bad opponents. Well, it depends how siloed that is. And then like not as many yards against good opponents versus someone who like went off against good opponents and then like, okay, how come you couldn't be relied on against bad opponents? Like, that's also weird. These are bad corners. Why you only get 27 yards this game against bad? So I don't know. I hear that brought up and I'm like, I could go either way with that. But mostly I was just being stupid.
Clearly. No, but I do hear what you're saying. I think the flip side is more concerning to me. If he only played good against good teams and then sucked against bad ones. But it is like when you do have those NFL prospects lined up against you, how do you play?
Like Fernando this year.
Yeah.
You saw him play amazing against the best teams. So you're like, I trust it. Whereas you can be like a little more scared when it's like, I didn't see you do it against the best teams.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Anyways, Boston's weaknesses, he's got very low top end speed.
He's pissed.
Really can't. What?
Dude, Miles, calm down, dude.
Mr. Stiffy over here.
Oh, God, I'm so fucking tired of this shit. What the fucking podcast? Anyways, he's got really good, sucks at separation versus quick corners, and he doesn't have really any history of yak creation on film. What he ends up profiling is as a good X receiver who never reaches elite production, in my mind, who can be on the field a lot, because he just wins down the field, is really good in the red zone, very good run blocker, but never has the separation skills to be a true wide receiver one. My comp for him is Cortland Sutton.
Awesome. He's a guy where if your team drafts him, I'd be like, great pick. If my team drafts him, I'd be like, fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not very exciting.
That's a great point.
Okay, but what I'm saying right now,
you can't say that someone's ceiling is a non-wide receiver one and then give him a comp of a wide receiver one.
Comps are not meant to be what level you're at. It's meant to be what style of player you are. And it's much more appealing to give comps that are of players that are good than it is of players that are bad.
Yeah,
We know our audience. You guys aren't the smartest
You're
folk
right.
out there. Well, let's be honest. You guys
man.
are a little dumb. I like Cortland Sutton. Shades of Cortland Sutton.
comp Jalen Naylor.
Yeah, true.
What? Who?
True.
You want my comp to be Treylon Burks?
Yes.
Yeah. Juiced up Treylon Burks.
I like it.
Okay, that's all we have for receivers.
Yeah.
Correct?
Do we want to hit the tight ends or running backs next? I think it makes sense to do pass catchers and then riff off the running backs at the end.
Yeah,
here.
I can launch into Kenyon Sadiq.
Yeah.
And let's zoom out here on who he is and what the story behind him is. So he's 6'3", 241 pounds, and he's 21 years old. So he's a smaller tight end. He's younger, just a junior year, and currently he's projected to be a top 20 pick.
Mm-hmm.
The story on him is elite combine. You watch his tape and you see the combine and you know that he is just an elite athlete, like 100 percentile broad jump, vertical jump, insane 40 time. But then you're going to contrast that with his production. Let's see. He only had 40 yards per game this past season.
Yeah.
I look back at like Kyle Pitts, Colston Loveland, and Tyler Warren, other tight ends that got drafted in the first round. They're like getting 60 or 70 yards per game. Like,
Right.
This is pretty shocking for a guy that, a lot of really the most respected draft evaluators are putting him this highly. So clearly there's something there, but there is something to be concerned about with like, okay, how come Oregon with your talented offense couldn't get him the ball more?
He's an S tier Vernis Davis level elite athlete.
And I think if you're going to, well, actually, let's look at what he does well. So he's an insane linear athlete, and they use him in a lot of different ways. They use him as a wide tight end, which for you guys out there is a standard tight end where you're lined up next to the offensive tackle, and you're staying still, and you are going to run a route or you're going to block. That's like your most tight end snaps are at wide tight end. They use him at move tight end. They use him at slot receiver. They even gave him some snaps at wide out. We've talked on this podcast that we believe he could play snaps in the slot, even play snaps wide out.
Big time.
Because he's only 240. I mean, there's some receivers that are 225. He's a yak threat because of athleticism, his strong lower body, and he really excels on choice routes and crossers. So like something that are within 5 or 10 yards to the line of scrimmage where he gets the ball wide open, you love him. Like once he gets a full head of steam, he's flying down the field. Mm-hmm. And then this is something you guys actually put me on for being 240 pounds. He's a pretty great blocker.
Yeah.
He can block outside of his weight class, especially on the move. Mm-hmm. He can find a linebacker's speed on the field and like line himself up perfectly where they're not getting around him to wherever that run is going. And then he's just a football player. And what I mean is like they can use him in a lot of different ways.
Football.
He's tough.
Yes.
He loves the game. He's good at contested catch. He's good on the move. Like he's good in all the basic ways. And so like there's no like red flag of like, oh, he just doesn't play tough enough, but he's an athlete. Like really, like if he had another 250 yards, people would love him.
Yeah.
It's just like, how come he wasn't given the ball a little bit more?
Right. Sadiq's awesome. Besides the whole thing is just awesome athlete. We didn't go through his testing specifically, but he was one of the best tight ends all time testing at the combine.
He didn't do a lot of the short shuttle to the 3-cone. So we don't know like what's his change of direction. I don't think it's as elite. But for just jumping and sprinting, he's insane.
Fastest 40 time of any tight end ever, 4.39. Unbelievable athlete. My comp for him is Vernon Davis. You remember Vernon Davis? It was just he gets the ball in his hands and he's just a rumbling absolute fucking freight train flying down the field at a size that no one else can compete with.
Cannon.
I really like Sadiq. The lack of production scares me. He's certainly not at the same level in my mind as Loveland, Warren, guys like that who had elite production and also elite Bowers. Right. But the promise for him and his upside, if he goes to a place like the 49ers, if he drops all the way down to where the 49ers pick, if he gets in the right system and he gets the right schemed up touches, he gets used correctly as a move blocker a lot where he has momentum going into guys, he could be a star, no question.
Yeah, it seems like he's not going to make it past 20, like Ravens or Jets or Panthers. Like I feel like I don't see him fall past the Panthers very often.
Yeah.
I think he has way more question marks than what the draft community wants to admit.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And I think that it's easy to sit from someone who's not making the financial decisions on him to say that he's worth that pick. But I think if I was a shot caller, I don't think I would do it.
Yeah. It's just hard. Like, I think Makai Lemon will go before him.
Yeah.
But, like, do you want this, like, average athlete on your team, or you want this genetic freak?
Who with no production at all.
Some production.
I think it's a very clear line where if I had a lot of confidence in my ability or my OC to scheme up stuff to get guys going,
True.
I'd feel super confident in Sadiq. If I didn't have much confidence in my OC where it was like he's just going to get dropped in infrastructure and we're just going to kind of try to get him to ball once in a while, I'm much lower on him.
Yeah, so Miles was talking about confidence.
Oh, sorry, I can't let you.
Oh,
Confidence. He had a little transition. He was going to do a thing. Don't worry about it, guys. Weaknesses is his route running. Like, compared to Colson Loveland, where you're like, wow, you're routing guys up out of their shoes. He's more of an insane athlete using his size speed combo. So he's not going to stop on a dime and break people out of their shoes. And then not elite hands. He can have concentration drops where he's trying to start running before he really catches the ball. But speaking of guys that have confidence.
so Matt was just being an asshole.
Okay.
And
Speaking of assholes.
assholes. All right, no. So now we're talking about Eli Stowers, tight end out of Vanderbilt. And so in this class, there's pretty much two of these. You can view both of them as these premier prospects at tight end.
Oh, yeah.
Or you can view just one, or you can view neither. But if you're going to view any of them, it's going to be Eli Stowers and Kenyon Sadiq. But Kenyon Sadiq, tight end, Vanderbilt, 6'4", 240. Kind of thought of as this undersized, non-typical tight end. How is he going to translate? How is he going to fit on an NFL team? So he signed with Texas A&M when he went into college and spent 2 seasons as a reserve quarterback. When he transferred to New Mexico, he was in a quarterback battle with him and another person. He lost. The coach said, hey, you're an insane athlete. You're 6'4", 240. Let's find a way to get you on the field. Put him at tight end. Then him and Diego Pavia, who won the quarterback job, went on a tear. And then, so that's how they transferred to Vanderbilt. They followed one of their coaches, their OC, I think Tim Beck, to Vanderbilt. Totally changed Vanderbilt's program. They were... Would they get gypped from the college football playoff? Is that kind of how that worked?
They were all right on the cusp, didn't make it.
Yeah. And so, but coming from a program like Vanderbilt, that's insane. And when you think how you really only had 2 guys that came over and did that for you,
Yeah.
it says a lot
Well,
about these
I
prospects.
think it's the coaches first, but definitely Pavia too.
No, Tim Beck's a fraud.
No. Dude, I was just seeing a tweet today from QB school, his name. It was his first video breaking down, or first finally watching Vanderbilt's offense. Apparently they were doing some like next level on the cusp stuff. Like,
Yeah.
They were really surprising people with their scheme. I kind of want to break down some of what, like between Pavia being crazy and the scheme, I want to see what that is.
Yeah. But so the thing with Stowers is I had a lot of confidence in him. And then as I kind of got higher on Sadiq, my reality kind of set in where it's like, how is this guy going to translate to the NFL?
Yep.
Then the combine happened. Stock went back up.
True.
And after doing this deep dive, I always thought his trademark was his production.
Yeah.
He only had 4 touchdowns this past season.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was
Really
production.
not that much. But he had 62 catches, 769 yards. But for a tight end, you'd imagine that you'd have at least some red zone.
He's much more similar to Sadiq than we think about them
Yeah.
in terms of profile.
Which kind of makes me be like, okay, well, is he just a less juiced up Sadiq?
I don't know. That 780.
Like-
That 780 is closer to the Bowers, Loveland, Warren line I was looking at. Pitts versus I think Sadiq was like 6. I mean, it is somewhat different.
But the only thing that really kind of got it for me, though, is in 2024, he was first team all SEC. And in 2025, this past year, he won the John Mackey Award.
Wow.
And a consensus first team All American. And so,
Oh, wow.
these numbers obviously aren't saying the whole picture. People who know stuff about being a tight end thought very highly of what he did this year.
Yeah.
And I think I would lean on that. And so it's not going to be a traditional inline tight end role that he's going to play on an NFL team.
It's 560 versus 770, so 30% difference. It's a pretty big gap.
And he's primarily going to be a pass catching weapon. And so when we talked about where we can play Sadiq, you can pretty much play Sadiq anywhere that a tight end could play on the field.
Yeah.
Is he going to be a showstopper at all of them? Probably not, but he can do it.
And you can leave him out there on run first downs and feel good that he's there.
Yeah. I would not feel good having Stowers chip any D-end in the NFL. I don't see it at all.
On film, he's an unwilling blocker who doesn't have a lot of history of really like being even willing to like go after guys.
You just watch him and it's like, you're bigger than this. Like the effort is just not going from watching Sadiq to him is like there's literally no effort here.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, my comp is juiced up Oronde Gadsden. Basically just a really big slot who can block once in a while, is big down the field, and has really good vertical.
And so the thing that we talked about with Carnell Tate and a lot of these rookie wide receivers about how you want to be able to run block if you're going to get on the field.
Yep.
And you got to do the little things that an NFL team just expects you to do. If you can't do what's expected of you, you don't get to showcase what you're really good at. If you can't be an all-around player. That is why I fear Eli Stowers. It might take a while for him to get on the field. He's going to have to figure out how to do that stuff. Otherwise, it's only going to be on 2 tight end sets, on 12 personnel.
Yep.
If you're going to like project him as a fantasy asset, it really want to know where he lands. Like, do you feel like there's a coordinator where it's like, oh, I think he can make this guy work? We said this with Sadiq, but it's even more true with Stowers. Like, do they have a slot receiver where they are feeding touches to, or is there a gap there they can put him in the slot, move him around, and then like his ceiling as a pass catcher could be pretty dang high.
Yeah, he broke the combine record for vertical and broad jump as well. He didn't break the record for broad jump, but he had the highest broad.
It was still like 100th percentile, like almost there.
Yeah.
No, he's a monster.
He's a monster.
That brings us to running backs. This running back class compared to last year was the best running back class we've had in 20 years per evaluators. This upcoming season, really not even close, except for one young man. One young man who Connor was early on. I'll give him the credit. I'll throw him all the credit in the world. He said earlier this season he thought he was better than Ashton Genty. I thought that was ridiculous. Now the consensus is that Love is the best running back prospect since Bijan, since Saquon, one of the best in the past 10 years. Elite breakaway speed. Matt, what do you got on Jeremiyah Love?
Jeremiyah Love, Notre Dame running back, 6 foot, 214 pounds.
Dang.
He's 20.8 years old, so 3 years of college, still young, still got a long career ahead of him. Projected top 10 pick. Let's go straight to the comps, and these are 100% accurate.
Yes.
A lighter Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, and Bijan. Not the lighter part for the second two, just Saquon. But basically, he has all the ability of all the best running backs we've ever seen. And what does that mean? It means he's not just elite, change of direction, vision, power, contact balance, yards after contact. It's not just that, because that can only get you so far if you're going to be elite, game-changing the NFL. It's the receiving. It's the route running. It's the transition from catching to running. It's the vision. It's the understanding of just like what your role is on the offense and how to like change every single element of it. Let me just go into stats right away to show you how insane he is. 6.9 yards per attempt in back-to-back seasons. 40 touchdowns in the last 2 seasons. 94 rushing grade this past year from PFF. And 4.5 yards after contact per attempt.
He ran the same 40 time as Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, and he's like 8 or 10 pounds heavier.
Yeah. Like this is a...
Oh, no, he's 214. Jahmyr Gibbs is like 198. He's 15 pounds heavier.
I think the main thing to think about is, okay, what if Jeremiyah Love ran a 4.45? I think he would still be a back end of the first round prospect locked in.
No,
speed doesn't matter that
no,
the top end speed doesn't matter that much.
Really?
Dude, think about like Clyde Edwards-Helaire got drafted in the first round.
He didn't run fast at all, though.
To me,
exactly. But he's still like, he was in 20.
If he lost
like
0.1 seconds, he'd go from like pick 6 to pick 12.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, I think that the differentiating characteristic for Love is that he has elite breakaway speed. Mm-hmm. To me, if you take away his elite breakaway speed, he's a good mid-round running back.
No, it's the contact balance, it's the vision, it's the receiving capability. Those are his elite. That's just a little sprinkle on top. It doesn't change the flavor of the cupcake.
Dude, I
it's
actually
the same cupcake.
griped internally about this for a long time. I think out of all these premier running back prospects that we've talked about, coming into the draft, I think he has the best contact balance out of any of them.
Ashton Jeanty has something to say about that.
True. Jeanty doesn't have the speed.
No,
Ashton
not even
Jeanty
close.
was more calculated, though. Ashton Jeanty, I will give you that he is up there. But Ashton Jeanty was more of a bouncer.
Oh, yeah. Bowling ball.
Jeremiyah Love is like, get hit, fly backwards, somehow don't fall over.
He has more burst to like avoid the next contact versus Jeanty had to like embrace contact.
Like the one, what's that? Like, it's not a machine, but it's like that metal rack that you run through, and it's just like the pads that you just bounce.
It's got like rotating things on spring that just like slap you.
I feel like Ashton Jeanty did that.
Yeah,
all the time.
no, that's true.
And it's like Jeremiyah Love, it's like he would be doing that, except they didn't bounce. It's like he'd hit them and would have to figure out how to just get around all these things.
I think that's valid. And I do think he's a better prospect, but I think if you're trying to compare him that close, I think they're comparable enough where it's like not that big of a deal.
Okay, I'm also saying it's not like I was like, without a doubt. I'm saying I struggled a lot to get there, but I do think, to me personally, he has the best contact balance.
Yeah. Let me just go into some of the strengths. We talked about the contact balance, the elite home run speed. We talked about his receiving threat. He has great hands. I mean, that like McCaffrey level hands where it's like, wow, is this guy like a top 10 receiver? Just the way how fluid he is in every aspect. He can run nuanced and diverse routes, even split out wide. He didn't do it a lot at Notre Dame because, you know, he's their primary running back. But a couple receiving threats, I saw a cut up of them. I mean, he looks pretty twitchy. He looks like he knows what he's doing. And then, quickly can turn into a yak threat. The contact balance, we've talked about it 10 times. You got to watch the Penn State clip. You got to watch the Abdul Carter
2024 college football playoff.
It's got to be easy to find because I always find it. You got to watch that clip. Only one fumble in college in 3 years of high production. Only one fumble, so sure hands. And then, decent chops and pass protection. That was one caveat people had with him last year. It's like, he's fine in pass protection. You can tell he made it a point of emphasis, diagnosing where the free rusher is and like lowering and taking him on. Way better this year.
Here's the question. Running back positional value, a huge thing we touch on in all other podcasts. We're not going to touch on that deeply in here. At what position in the draft would you guys feel comfortable taking Love?
7.
Right now he's the favorite to go 4 to the Titans, which is rich.
I'd want those defensive linemen to go off the board, and then like maybe Carnell Tate. But like him or Styles, I think you could argue the value of either. It's hard. Like the offensive lineman, like it depends what your team needs. Like if you have a gap at offensive line, like for the Titans, they really have a right guard need and a center. Like they could. I think they should just, if they want to go make their offense better for Cam Ward, pick Maui Noah and have him play right guard.
I just put a bet on him today, 37-1 to get picked fourth overall.
Really? Mm-hmm. It's 37-1.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that just yesterday. Like, why not go Maui Noah?
Yeah.
So it's hard to say. Maybe I want Maui Noah to go over to 8 to 10 range because the salary starts to go down there too.
Yeah. If he gets taken 4th overall, he'll be the 6th highest paid running back in the NFL.
Yeah. Holy. I don't like that.
No, I don't like it at all.
Yeah, to me, it's just like if you're going to take somebody without that level of offensive line, we know what this is. We know what Ashton Jeanty looks like.
But also, if you're picking at 4, you're not one running back away.
Yeah.
You're not a running back away.
The receiving thing makes a big difference because that can change the game. That changes the way the safeties and linebackers need to view your offense. If you're just a really good running back, it's not going to change the way the defense has to play your team.
Yeah.
Maybe they crowd the box a little bit more. That could be the argument. But when you don't have any receiving threats or a good offensive line, it doesn't really matter. To me, I think Love. I would feel comfortable taking Love at 7 with the Commanders.
Yeah.
Love's awesome.
Yeah. It depends if Styles or Bain is there.
Yep.
Hard to say about Styles. I'd want the Commanders to take Bain over Love.
Just in case you don't know anything about the draft cycle, every single NFL team per reports, guys that are tapped in, McShay, every single NFL team has Love in their top 3 among players.
Yep.
Like ignoring positional value. Like he is considered a great blue chip prospect, no doubt.
Yeah. But since he played for Notre Dame,
Yeah.
And there was also another player for Notre Dame that somehow is the RB2.
I would love to hear about that.
For the first time in NFL history, 2 teammates at running back are 1 and 2 at the board in the NFL draft. Jadarian Price, his teammate, 5'11", 209. He doesn't have near the same of breakaway speed that Love's exceptional ability has. He ran a 4.49, closer to a 4.5. He only had 280 college carries. You can tape that as a downside. Maybe there's not enough sample size there to interpret and extrapolate that he will be a good NFL running back. Or it can be an upside for a guy like James Cook, who got taken in the first round by the Bills in 2021, I believe. He has fresh legs for the NFL. He seeks out contact much more than Love does, plays a very physical brand of football. The big downside with Price is that he has no pass game experience. He only caught 6 balls this past year and was poor in recognition and pass blocking sets. The question here, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, the only thing that I'll give him grace with that for is that if they needed something done, if Notre Dame was in a position where they had to have a play made, Jadarian Price is not on the field.
My next note, was that because Love ahead of him was awesome or because Notre Dame didn't trust him enough to put him in those situations?
Yeah.
Another thing with Price that is definitely a real thing in today's NFL in terms of value. He has excellent film as a punt returner. He had 2 touchdowns this past year and displayed surprising top-ending speed in punt returns. He's very shifty. He has great contact balance as well, and that definitely matters in today's NFL. Strengths, tackle breaking, contact balance. He's very pinball-esque, bouncing off second-level defenders, and he has high-end acceleration extended away from tackles. In terms of weaknesses, besides the receiving game, he's very jump-cutty. Despite his ability to get downhill effectively and play into contact, he'll tend to jump away from gaps, kind of like R.J. Harvey-esque in a way that isn't productive. He doesn't get north-south perhaps as much as you wanted to. My comp for Price is Jalen Warren.
Yeah, I think it's not like he tested poorly or like he had anything that was like a knock at the combine. But I do think at his weight, at 200 pounds, I would have liked to see more from it. So take that for what that is worth.
210. My other comp for him was J.K. Dobbins pre-injury. I think their running style is much more similar, seeks out contact, bounces off tackles well. I think he's got a little more juice than Dobbins. Dobbins is a great contact balance guy as well. So that's a bit of a high-end comp. But more I looked into Price, the more I really liked him. I loved watching him on film from the Notre Dame I watched. I obviously watched Love a lot, and you can't just watch Love and not think, holy fuck, this guy's amazing.
Yep.
It's tough to say with Price because he's always coming in after Love, so I feel like there's some sort of crossover there in terms of watching film where it's like I don't know if this is like an after effect of playing against Love.
The linebackers are tired at that point. They're not ready.
I don't know if that's real.
No, but so I'll say this. There is something to be said to be the cleanup guy who's just closing the games out. He's getting his touches after you are up 30 points and the other team knows that you're running the ball.
I don't think all of his touches when they were up 30 points.
Pretty much. Okay. No, but you know what I'm saying though. It's like Jeremiyah Love starting the game. You guys are getting ahead. It's not like they alternated downs or not downs, but like a series. He was definitely the complementary to Jeremiyah Love, and so when you want to take Jeremiyah Love out of the game, that's when he's going to get the majority of his touches, and they're going to know that all you're going to do is run.
Yep.
And so,
And it's not like Judkins and Henderson where we got to see Judkins in a different offense. We've only seen Price behind Love.
Yeah.
Peter Schrager, who's super tapped into NFL sources this past week, had Price mocked at 32 to the Texans, which is high for my taste.
Incredibly high, like a round too high.
Yeah. The Texans have, I believe, picked 39, a second rounder they got from the Commanders in last year's Tunsil trade. I would feel a little bit more comfortable. It's still a little bit too high for me.
To me, that would be his his ceiling where I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I agree. But contact balancey, a little bit strong. Love's an exception, but if it wasn't for Love, he would be the top underwhelming running back in this class. Most guys say compared to last year's running back class, which was awesome, Scadaboo, Genty, Hampton, Harvey. He'd be like the RB7 in last year's running back class, which is a really important thing to keep in mind when you're trying to like. It's like he's not the RB2. He's not like if you think about it year to year, he's not just like he's the RB2. It's like okay, he's a good running back, but he's certainly not special.
He's fine.
So just for context, for people who aren't really locked into this draft, you have Jeremiyah Love, where I think I wouldn't want him to go higher than 7 if I was drafting.
But you wouldn't want him to go past 12.
I wouldn't want him to go past 12 at all.
Yeah.
But even at that, if I'm looking at people behind me or like stuff like that, if I think that there is opportunity that I might not get him, I wouldn't be upset if they took him higher than that. I just wouldn't like it if they took Jeremiyah Love before 7. I'm just not sitting there at 4 being like, this is what I'm going to do. I love this.
Yeah.
You have that reality of like 5 to 10. After that, I honestly don't think any of the rest of the guys are worth a second round pick. I think top of the 3rd is where I feel comfortable with every other running back prospect in this draft.
That's fair.
I think I like Price in the 50s. But not pick 37.
Yeah.
The thing is, when I'm watching his tape compared to the other guys, I'm like, I don't see a light years of difference here. And also, I don't love it that much. And it might just be me personally.
Yeah, I think he's just a little more athletic and a little more fluid than some of the other guys.
Yeah, I like his shiftiness combined with the power. I think that he has the two of them is different than the other backs in this class.
On the offense that he was on, though.
True.
I, once again, like going back to our former point, I don't know exactly how to index that and what that actually means. Like, what does that actually mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's tough to say.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
We are now entering a 30-second zone where we can discuss Mike Washington Jr. starting now. Mike Washington Jr., he's a Arkansas running back. He is really big and crazy fast, super fast 40 and like 230 pounds. People like that. His film wasn't that good, so people didn't like him until the combine, but now the combine changed. What do you guys think?
Mike Washington Jr. is going to be there in the middle of the second round for you in your dynasty draft. He's going to be taken as a third rounder, and you're going to say, holy, this guy ran a 4.32 or 4.34 or whatever. He's
At
big.
that size.
Connor,
he's
5 seconds. What do you
6'1".
think?
I'm not buying it.
2, 1.
No, don't do it.
That was our Mike Washington Jr. segment. We didn't really want to cover him because, I don't know, if your film isn't good, but then your testing numbers are good, and like,
I'm just not going to buy it.
so you're just like going to get better at football now?
It gives Danny Dennis Sutton.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shout out to that. Okay, but we are going to cover just one. You guys don't have any other running backs, right?
I have 2.
Who are we all hitting?
You have Coleman. We have Singleton, Johnson. Hit Coleman.
Oh,
Actually, let me hit Johnson so we can alternate it.
okay.
All right. Emmett Johnson. Somebody who at one point in time was RB2.
Yeah.
Now it's not RB2.
Back before technology existed,
Combine really did
people
not
had-
do him any favors.
But back before film existed.
Yeah. So Emmett Johnson's running back out of Nebraska. He's 5'10", 200 pounds. So he's small. When you watch his film, he somehow looks smaller.
Yeah, he's not as small as his film looks.
Yes, he looks really small on
He looks
film.
like 185.
His film also makes him look faster than he is.
Yeah. He was
True.
He was Minnesota's Mr. Football in high school. He was an insane high school football player.
Yeah.
And when you watch his college film, you're like, that makes a hell of a lot of sense.
Mr. Football, Mr. Stiffy. I mean, everyone has different things in high school.
Yep. So he helped his team finish second in the Big Ten in rushing. Behind, can't remember who was first.
I don't know.
But in 2024, he had 598 rushing yards, a team high 900 all-purpose yards. But he had his breakout season in 2025. 1,500 rushing yards, 12 touchdowns, the first 1,000-yard season in Nebraska since 2018.
1,500 scrimmage yards or rushing yards?
Rushing yards.
Holy cow.
Rushing yards.
Holy cow.
Also had 46 catches for 370 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Wow.
One of the few Big Ten players
I'm
since 1956 with 1,400 plus rushing yards, 350 receiving yards. Only Saquon Barkley had done it prior in the past 20 years.
So that's your comp.
Least cherry pick stat.
That's your comp.
That is just your production. That's just yards.
Yes,
That's
great
rushing
production.
yards.
Great production.
Yep. He led the nation in scrimmage yards per game at 151.8. Big Ten running back of the year, first team All-American, semifinalist for the Maxwell Award and the Doak Walker Award. And then he, in the month of November alone, so just kind of like start the season-ish, he averaged over 200 yards a game. This guy is a monster.
Okay, stat this. Your heart. What does your heart tell us about Emmett Johnson? Tell us what your heart says.
Afraid of contact, small. It's like he can avoid contact.
I
like
know in your
none
heart
other.
you believe he has juice, though.
I know that he can avoid contact like none other, but I'm pretty sure if my grandma hit him on the field, he's done. He's toast.
Oh, shit. That is not legal what just happened.
It probably wouldn't be legal.
Is that grandma okay out there?
I think he's a third down back who will get a decent amount of work but never be prominently featured. My comp for him is Kenny Gainwell.
So think about this from a prospect standpoint. He reminds me a lot of Aaron Jones coming into the league.
That's fair.
Smaller.
Coming in, yeah.
Smaller, definitely shifty, has that lateral jump ability, and is a receiving back.
Without the power.
Aaron Jones didn't have that much power coming in.
Okay.
Aaron Jones is the 5th rounder, right?
Yeah, or fourth. It was him and Jamal Williams.
Oh, yeah.
So they doubled up. It was the fourth
Uh-huh.
and fifth round.
It's a good draft.
Yeah, somehow that panned out. But I kind of project him where his floor is just rotational back, pass catching complement, like Miles said, that third round back. I don't see a world where he doesn't succeed at that. You can't have that college level production and not be able to do that in the league. I don't see a world where he isn't that for an NFL team.
I think he'll definitely be useful.
And if you find the right system, that it's a passing offense, high speed, just electric.
Yeah.
He can be a star. He can be a starter.
When Jerick McKinnon just lit up the fantasy on the Chiefs like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Because they just kept throwing him the ball.
Yep. But I don't see it really working in this modern offense, which is why you see him fall. But, I do think there's something to say where you can't have that crazy of a season. It's insane. You watch his film, and you're like, this guy is insane at football. He does look like he's 5'5", $150.
Yeah.
But he's insane at football.
If you have an empty running back room, you could draft him and Katron Allen and feel satisfied. You have both types of backs.
Or if you can somehow get Jonah Coleman, Emmett Johnson.
True.
Third and fourth.
It's not really Sonic and Knuckles, but
Yeah.
it's something.
He's a juiced up Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Do you have any notes on his pass pro? Like, can he be like a full third down back, or is he? I mean, he's slighter for a pass pro guy.
I don't see him. I don't see someone like Edgerrin Cooper coming in the A gap and him being able to stop him. I think he might die. Actually,
I would say like Gibbs is okay for his size, but it's tough.
Gibbs came into the league very poor and then has gotten excellent the past few years. Johnson's pass pro, from what I've heard, is not there per analysts. But I mean, I think it might be a year or two until he comes into the league. I'm a little bit lower on Johnson. I was higher until pre-combine, and then it became clear that he wasn't athletic.
But his film is fun.
Oh, for sure.
You just watch some highlights. You're like, this guy's good at football.
He's fun.
I kind of want him to go to the Packers in the fourth round. I think if we spend a fourth round pick on him,
I think that's fair.
I think we need an RB2.
I was just telling Jacob how he should feel good about his Josh Jacobs trade in Dynasty because like the Packers haven't added anything to that room, but they lost Wilson.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lloyd loading.
Yeah, we'll see.
Breakout season loading.
Wait.
All right.
Wait.
I'm going to jump over to Jonah Coleman, the Washington running back. The main thing that you'll hear about him on the internet is he is the stat guy's dream. He has had good production over several years, a lot of carries, a lot of yards. He's used in the passing game, which for a lot of like analytical dynasty guys that look at stat lines, they want to see that. They want to see that those receiving chops. And he's a bigger guy. Listen to this: 5'9", 229 pounds. Mm-hmm. So he's got. I mean, that was just rude.
I'm listening to you.
No, I'm not about listening. I mean, you just toss his beer.
Just eye candy.
So what you'll see, I'm going to give kind of like the sparkling point of view for Jonah Coleman for a little bit.
Can I say something before you deep dive in?
Before I sparkle?
Yeah.
Sure.
Bird's eye view from me.
Okay.
I tried to get into Jonah Coleman at the beginning of this draft season.
You tried to get into him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tried to get into him. There is zero sex appeal
Yeah.
for me watching Jonah Coleman.
It's the polar opposite
You
of
wanna-
Emmett Johnson.
But there's something about just Washington's offense in general. Denzel Boston and Jonah Coleman. I'm just like,
They're just
See,
they're laying it down in Mish, even pace,
It's just vanilla.
They're giving you what you need, but maybe not what you want.
I liked Boston. I thought he was a little bit sexier, but when I watched Coleman and Washington film, I did watch 3 or 4 of his games. I was like,
You know what I wrote down for Jonah Coleman? He's a lunch pail grinder. He's showing up. He's a bricklayer every day. He packs his sandwiches, his banana in his lunch pail, and he grinds.
yeah.
I think he could be a totally fine 35th best running back in the NFL.
Like Brian Robinson or maybe Algier.
Jordan Mason.
Yeah, there were these guys where it's like they can kind of do everything, and they're really stout,
Solid.
but they're not like elite at everything, and they don't have elite burst.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go into what his profile is. He's got good contact balance. We're gonna talk about him like a bowling ball. He has pretty good missed tackles forced per attempt, and he's short and strong, so you can't arm tackle him.
Yeah.
So you're kind of getting like a Cam Scadaboo idea here, where it's like strength, breaking tackles, no burst. I don't think he's got quite as much juice as Scadaboo.
No.
He's a lunch pail grinder, so he's good in short yardage. He's gritty. He fights hard. There's a lot of scouts talked about how he kind of wears the defense down. I don't know if that will happen in the NFL level, but because he's so consistent and so hardworking that like against these bad teams, they'd be scared.
Yeah.
They'd be done tackling him by the end of the game.
He's going to get 8 carries a game and wear the defense down.
Yeah.
You see Fred Warner. Oh no, it's lunch pail Coleman.
Yeah, I don't know if Fred Warner's going to get tired out. A couple more things. He's got good hands for catching the ball, and he's really good in pass protection at 230 pounds, and then good ball security, only 2 fumbles and 450 touches in his college career.
Yeah.
And then no breakaway speed at all. A lot of carries, so maybe he's been run down if that you care about that stuff. And very little lateral quickness. He can like run you over, but he cannot avoid you.
Yeah. Is that what you had?
That's what I got. Comp, Tyler Algier.
That does not seem right to me.
My final note, I like the guy because you know he'll be useful for your team. His ceiling is limited, but more teams need guys like Tyler Algier.
Maybe it's just Tyler Algier just campaign. Like
Yeah.
you watch Jonah Coleman and you're like, you know what? I really love Tyler Algier.
I love Tyler Algier personally.
I'm just thinking like he's not sexy, but like as a running back 2 on your team, getting your rotation, it's like, man, we're not scared at all when he has the ball. We feel confident.
He'll show up on time. He'll bring his lunch pail, and he'll fucking clock out at 5:30.
And he'll lay some bricks.
Old lunch pail Coleman. Gotta love him. All right. So I was telling Miles before we hopped on the pod today that out of the players that I dove into for this, there was one that really just like I was really intrigued doing it.
Buttered your
really?
biscuit.
My biscuit was sufficiently buttered while doing it. I'm not gonna lie.
It was saturated. It was dripping with butter.
And like so going into to draft season, Nick Singleton, running back from Penn State.
Yeah.
I was like, heard this name, gotta dive into him, know that he has some juice and that this is a name that I should look out for. Just the most just catastrophic draft season. Once everyone started going into it, just fail after fail after fail.
Can I say like the Penn State roster, Drew Aller, Singleton, Katron Allen, all their best players were like, you know what? We think we're a good team. We can win it all next year. Let's all come back and do one last ride together. Our senior years, they all their draft stock fell. They lost like 5 games. Penn State,
Just like Clemson.
Franklin got fired. It is funny. Like you huddle up, guys. We gotta all come back together. We can win with our friendship.
We could have been second-round picks. Now we're going to be first-round picks.
Yeah, but
So things you need to know about Nick Singleton: he's big, strong, and fast. That does not change. He's still big, strong, and fast. Some of the knocks that he has, he's a one cutback, and so what that means is that when he gets the ball and he goes through the hole, he typically sees what gap he's going to take, makes one cut, doesn't make additional.
Kenneth Walker-esque.
The Emmett Johnsons of the world, they're just springboarding side to side. It's like his 40 time doesn't matter because he's just lateral hopping all the way down the field.
Yeah.
Nick Singleton, his knock is that he's a one cutback. And I would argue that that is much more translatable to the league than Emmett Johnson's style of play.
No, I think it's true.
Where if you're playing against crappy competition, yeah, jump cut them all. It's like it's backyard football. Whatever. I'm gonna juke all my buddies out.
True.
And I'm gonna Fortnite dance on their asses when I get into the end zone.
Yeah.
In the NFL, it's not like that. And he's big and he's strong. And so that one cut, it's like I don't care that you could potentially get 70 yards on this play. I don't care. One out of 40 times you can get 70 yards on this play. I want you to get 6 yards every single time you touch the ball.
To me, like, you could use that as a knock as a first-round prospect, but once you're looking at a guy in the 3rd through 6th round, like, if you think he has elite burst and strength to hit a hole hard, like, yeah, spend a 4th. I like what you're putting. I like that point there.
Yeah. So like we said, he had his best year in 2024. Definitely, I think he could have been on that fringe first round if he would have came out last year. The only thing is that it was a really saturated running back class.
Yeah, he probably would have been a high third, low second.
If he had last year, like the 2024 production this year,
oh yeah,
then it makes sense. You could see it.
He'd be Price level, top 40.
Way ahead of Price for me. His 2024
maybe
was
for
crazy.
you, but I don't think prospects like Price.
Yeah, his 2024 was crazy.
Prospectors.
But so he was the consensus number 1 running back in 2022 recruiting class, 5-star. Decided to go to the Nittany Lions in Penn State with Katron Allen. So they've been boys since day one. And he rushed for 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns as a true freshman, earning freshman of the year. Got banged up his sophomore year, but still had 750 yards. Expanded on his receiving role with 26 catches. His junior year, he had 1,100 yards, 6.4 yards per carry, 41 receptions for 400 yards, and 17 total touchdowns.
That is crazy. Sounds like a first rounder.
But in 2025, Katron Allen had a bigger role. And so he only had 550 yards on 124 carries.
I think their line got worse. They wanted a dependable guy that could fight through early contact, whereas when their offense was better, they wanted the guy with more burst that could, the hole was already open, run,
But here's the wild part. Nick Singleton is Penn State's all-time leading touchdowns and all-purpose yards leader.
That is crazy.
Wild.
Saquon Barkley, who?
Exactly.
My comp for Singleton is juiced down Raheem Mostert or Isaac Guerrero.
The thing is, I see higher than that. I think that he injured his foot again at the Senior Bowl. If you don't know that, it's the college showcase. It happens before the combine. It kind of is the kickoff to draft season. That the draft starts in Mobile, Alabama, which is where the Senior Bowl is.
Not for us.
Nope. Started a long time ago.
Started 3 years ago. I was watching their high school film, dumbass.
Yeah. Yep. And this is actually his 5th metatarsal injury.
Everyone knows 3 metatarsal injuries.
Yeah, we can look past that.
Once you get to 5, we're entering dangerous territory there.
4, no. 5, why are you even here?
Yeah, bro, get your metatarsals fixed. I mean,
exactly.
If you're messing with metatarsal injuries in 2026, what is your problem?
After 10 beers, I accidentally injured Matt's metatarsal bone.
When?
It was. We both had 10 beers. It was after a long night at Showboat, and
Bro.
I broke his metatarsal.
If you're not getting into the metatarsals with your boys, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Apparently, I need to check myself because
No.
I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
I can look at your metatarsal for you.
No, I don't want you to.
What?
Not if you told me what you did to Matt.
It was fun.
It was consensual.
I do see his floor as being a part of a committee, whether that's the third back. I do see him getting touches in the league. You can't have his background. Like, you can deal with injuries and have that drop your draft stock. But it was clear that something happened at Penn State. It probably wasn't Nick Singleton's sole fault that his production fell.
Mm-hmm.
I'd take a third-round flyer on Nick Singleton. And I don't think that's popular right now. But after doing this, after going through watching his film, going through everything that could possibly be reasons for this drop, I'm in, but like I'm not in on Nick Singleton, but
Yeah.
I'm in on Nick Singleton.
You're dipping your toe in the Singleton waters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In a festival or parade of
Okay.
celebrating Nick Singleton.
I see it. I'm there.
I'm not on the float.
Okay.
I might be passing out candy though.
What kind of candy?
And I'm eating it, brother.
Nerds gummy clusters.
Is it those flavored Tootsie Rolls that no one really likes?
No.
I like those.
Oh, I'm crying.
It's actually lemon drops.
I'm feeling sad. Oh, my toe just got ran over by it.
Oh, dude, I forgot. I was gonna make a comment. I was gonna drop a zinger when Miles was talking about Makai Lemon's hands.
Hit us.
I was gonna call him Lemon Drop.
Oh,
Dude, that's so funny.
You're the best, bro.
Yep. I'm pretty good.
I love you, man.
Yeah.
That's sick.
And we love you, men
Thank
and
you for-
women.
Thank you for joining us on our offensive prospect, skill player episode of the Football Frauds podcast. If you made it this far, comment, like, subscribe, or don't. Shouts Carnell Tate. You're probably the only person listening. We love you so very much. And
We
later-
really do think that Jordyn Tyson is Charmander and Carnell Tate is Bulbasaur. And you know what? Makai Lemon, he's on the Squirtle Squad. I think that fits very well.
I was on the Squirrel Squad in high school, if you know what I'm saying.
And let us know if you have the 106 in Dynasty. Who would you take? Omar Cooper, Kenyon Sadiq, or Casey Concepcion?
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.